Hey guys, welcome back to Afterpuff Gaming, where today I'm going to be answering two of your guys' questions today. One of them is, both of these are the questions right here. So we're going to start with the nurse canceling her attack. We're going to start with that one because it's just much easier, much shorter, and then we're going to jump into the surviving because it's much more in depth, much more harder to deal with. So for the first question, the nurse, it was saying that she was in the middle of teleporting like her animation, then she canceled her attack, or her teleport, to attack the survivor. So I went to the game to test it out, and then I went into the Dead by Daylight, all the patches, all the hot fixes, anything like that. I checked out every single one of recent, ever since in between now and the nurse's release, and she had nothing like those applied. So I went to the game and checked it out. As you can see here in the video, the nurse does not, like, when you guys look, when I'm like trying to like shake the camera, the reason why is because I'm trying to left click. I've been pressing buttons on the keyboard, every button, like every button on the keyboard, nothing canceled her animation. And then here it is again on front of the palette when I tried to teleport, no button requests to destroy the palette. You can't jump over a window, you can't destroy a palette while in that animation. Now, the thing is that you can be stunned with a pallet. If you're like holding the animation and someone stuns you, it will like stop the teleport, but you are being stunned. So that's the only thing that should stop the nurse from teleporting. So that's to answer that question. Like, and a little bit more is that it might have been a bug. It might have been someone hacking. You just never know with that case, but it definitely wasn't like part of the game. It wasn't something, so it shouldn't be something you should see frequently. It's something very rare. You encountered very rare. I'm sorry about that. So to the next question, I'm going to be splitting it up into three parts, which is hiding, when to hide, when not to hide, you know, kind of idea, and what are some good places. As I want to say this from right now, if you hide, even wherever you go, it's not 100% guarantee. If you hide wherever I say, it's not 100%, but hopefully these things can give you a better idea where to hide, when to, and you'll have a better time, I feel like, if you just do it. Alright, because each player has a different mindset. They may do something you just, even, like, they do something dumbfounded that even tricks me and I die, right? It happens, so don't worry about that. You're gonna have those games, but you'll be fine. The second part is juking, when to juke, how to juke, the ideas of juking, and the mentality of juking. And then the last one is when to stop, like when you feel like you're not getting chased, when to not run. And I feel like that's a pretty big one. So the first one you guys can see here is hiding. Some spots you guys will see me hide in is, like, I know some people may already use this, but I like to use the basement to hide. And I don't mean like stay in the basement. Don't hide in the closet. Don't be in there for 10 hours. I mean, let's just say you're walking around and you're near the middle of the map and you're in the building, and suddenly like the killer's nearby and you're just in that building. You want to go downstairs. Walk. Don't run. Slowly walk down the stairs and just hide there. Listen to the heartbeat, right? Like, you guys will realize that the heartbeat, once the heartbeat gets more faded and they're walking away, then you can go back upstairs and do what you need to do. Another couple spots is like stuff like in the cornfield. The cornfield is like, you could literally stand behind nothing, just stand in the middle of the cornfield and just crouch, and most of the time the killers will walk by. Don't always do that because sometimes the killer may see you. That's just an obvious one because you're not really hiding. Like from here, you guys will see me dodge the nurse just from sitting in like the haystack. And another one right here, you guys will see with the Wraith, is that you guys think like, oh my god, how'd the Wraith miss me? It's because the way I was hiding, if you guys look, is that when he walked in the building, he had one mindset, and that was to check up on the generator. It was to his right hand side, I was on his left. He had no reason, and like I said, he had no reason, but you never know, killer just may look left. But 9 times out of 10, even 10 times, like most of the time, the killer will be going straight for the generator to check up on it. So I knew that I was safe because he just ran in the building and went to the right. So things like that. Those are the typical spots you're going to want to hide in. And with that, we go on to the next part, which is juking the killer. Alright, so now this is a little bit more difficult because sometimes, even if you try to juke to the best of your abilities, the killer can read you and still get you. But as you start to play the game more, you start to feel with the killers more, and it really does help once you start to play the killers a little bit more. That's why I actually started playing the killers a little bit more than just survivors, so I understand the total feel of how killers work. And with that, it's way to juke the killers, like right here you'll be seeing in the hillbilly clip. Right, traditionally you see me running around, you know, I'm just simple, just outrunning him. But the main part of juking, and this is like one of the many things of juke, there's many ways to juke, but this is like the most simplest, the most easiest, the most effective way, like pretty much, is if you go through a window like this building, and when you jump out you go left, you turn your camera around, you look at the hillbilly or whatever killer, and you see him go left, immediately go 180 and turn the other way. So you go right. Right, because essentially he's gonna keep going that one way. You're going the opposite direction. That splits a lot of distance between you two, and that's when you can start to hopefully get some distance and escape. Another way is if you see like right here with the wraith, he sees me. You guys can tell. I run. I go straight for a pallet, and right here, you guys will see that I look behind me, and this is why I tell you guys to always look behind you, because I look behind me and he's not behind me, and I'm like, oh god, he's going around. I'm gonna throw down the pallet, and look, I stun him, I keep going, and then I still see him chasing me, so I go behind the pallet, stun him again, and off I go. Right, this gives me enough time. I could hear him breaking the pallet. This gives me enough time I don't even need to run at this point. I could slowly crawl away and hide, and then right here again for the third juke in less than a minute, he runs around, he doesn't see me, I run off. He swings, he misses, and I'm off. And then he just stops chasing. Those are the kind of jukes you kind of would be attempting, right? It's much easier said than done, but if you have your eyes on the killer, and I mean this as for every survivor, you have that open FOV, like you're not stuck in the first person, you're stuck in the third person. Use that to your advantage. It is massive. It's huge. The view you get puts you at such a big like handicap against the killer that it really does help. And for the last part of the juking, right here, I was going to show with the nurse, is right here I'm hiding in the same spot I was doing earlier, but this time the nurse actually checks the corner. Like I said, not every time it's going to work. So right here, I'm going to show you what I do against the nurse in typical juking. You know, I'm running, you know, I just run. I immediately throw down the pallet, even though I know she's not right behind me. It helps. Right here, I go around, and I know right here she's going to teleport. I go over the window. Right there, she's probably stunned. Well, she is stunned right there. And this kind of leads into the next part, as I was saying. And with this scene is where I like go into the cornfield. I know she isn't chasing me because I could hear the heartbeat going away. That I stopped walking because I don't want to leave the scratch marks. That kind of place is where you typically, like, you know that she's not chasing. She can't stop running. That way, that even like the way you just saw right there, I was hiding behind the canisters. That I was able to just simply hide, and now I'm able to heal up and go from there. Alright, so now we're going to jump into the next part, which is when to stop running from when you are chased. Alright, now that's where we're going to jump into right here. The number one thing is you got to ask yourself is, who are you facing? Is it anyone but the nurse? Okay. And then when you ask yourself that, can you hear the heartbeats? Is the heartbeats like really going? Like, because obviously the louder the heartbeats and the more it's faster and getting faster, the more closer the killer is. If you don't hear any heartbeats, typically you're just going to want to stop running anyways, even if you're in the middle of the open. It doesn't matter, unless you like to play aggressive, but the way I look at it is the moment you just break line of sight with the killer, and I mean like not like just turn a corner or something, I mean like from here, if you guys look at the clips, is like when I like stun a killer and I go around like the window, sure, I'll stop walking. Typically that's when you'll stop wanting to run. Anytime you break the line of the line of sight of the killer for more than like 3-4 seconds, stop running. That's it. It's a really tough one because when you get chased by a killer, even if you stop running, they're still gonna chase you because they're gonna scout the area. So it's very difficult. More or less, it's observe your situation. Stop running whenever you can, like as soon as possible. You guys saw right here from like the nurse clip, for example. As soon as I dodged her, like just for 1 second, I immediately stopped running. Even though there was no cover, I just stopped running. That's how you want to do it. It's just you typically want to stop running whenever you can, because that just leaves less scratch marks overall. And like it's a really tough one. That's more or less it's being in the situation. The best advice I can give on that one is, if you don't hear the heartbeats and like it's starting to fade more and more, stop running. If you start to build a little distance after like 3 seconds, if he's not gaining any traction, stop running. Those are the best things I could do for that part, because it's that kind of because most of the parts I talked about when you're like getting chased and you're low and you have your camera on the killer, that plays into effect too, because if you're looking at the killer and you see him running off, then you don't need to run. So all those kind of points lead up to this one. That's why I'm not going to go super hardcore into it, but like I say, you have to judge your situation to your own. And hopefully this video has helped you guys. I know it's a little wonky at parts, but you know, I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate the questions. Seriously, guys, I do thank you. If you guys have any more questions, if you guys need to know anything more, I'll try to get to the best of my... I'll try to post a video. I'll try to answer your questions to the best of my ability. If you guys have anything you guys want, just, you know, say it in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.